Hello gang, and welcome to Displaying-Model-Behaviour. It seems to me like all anyone can talk about these days are the new Marvel vs. Capcom themed figures coming out of Hasbro Marvel Legends very, very soon. Well, I know what a lot of y'all are thinking, because I'm thinking it too. We need to build out the entire display, and for that, we're going to need a whole bunch of action figures. So I'm going to tell you every single Marvel Legend you need to build the ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom display. So kicking things off, they make it very easy for us with their brand new Captain America. So some of these, of course, are brand fresh spanking new. This Captain America's no exception. He's arguably like as good a quality as the Secret Wars one that just came out, but he's tweaked different. He's built different to be that Capcom look. He's broader, more kind of imposing looking, without the chainmail that actually gives him that lovely kind of 90s aesthetic. Hoo-ha! Plus, with an actual full, proper shield. I mean, I shouldn't be amazed by that, but here we are. So this Cap, yeah, he's just wonderful. Then, we're going to go back a little bit, because you need your Iron Man, and this was like the nucleus for the Marvel vs. Capcom style line, because we got Proton Cannon Iron Man. It was made in the wonderful retro style sort of aesthetic, so it had a real 1990s Iron Man animated TV show kind of vibe to go with it. But that huge, big, gigantic shoulder-mounted proton cannon, yeah, straight out of Marvel vs. Capcom. That guy is a must-have.
Marvel vs. Capcom!
Then, sticking with the Iron-type characters, we got two to choose from when it comes to War Machine, because of course, we've got the brand new War Machine coming out in the Omega Red 2-pack, but it depends on whether or not you want to have the War Machine from the concept art or the War Machine from the actual game, because they both look very distinct. The brand new one we're getting is from the very iconic and admittedly beautiful Capcom sort of box art, program art. But the actual sprite in the game was just a palette swap of Iron Man, and Marvel have done both. So a couple of years ago, they also did that modular Iron Man repaint in the War Machine colors and gave him a nice big Capcom power effect ball to go with him. So ultimately, I guess the answer is you're just going to have to buy two War Machines, aren't you? Then, we're going to go over to a bit of a trickier one. It's the Hulk. And the not so incredible Maximum Hulk. I know a lot of people like it, and God bless you. But a lot of people have some gripes and grumbles, and reasonably so. But this is probably the closest Hulk we have to the Capcom look, but he ain't perfect. I think the head with the slick back hair and the white eyes and the grin, that's the closest to the Capcom aesthetic, and I feel like it might be a while before we get another Green Hulk, because they want the Maximum to stand on his own. So really, if you don't have any Hulks, the Maximum one's going to do the trick. But ultimately, I feel like we're still waiting for the perfect Capcom Hulk. Then for Spider-Man, Maximum Spider. Literally, the Maximum Spider-Man is the Capcom Spider-Man. Kind of. He's just so dark, man, which just makes me think they're totally going to re-release this figure in a brighter color palette. Probably without all the extra accessories, so they can hopefully, fingers crossed, charge a normal price for him. So I'm kind of easing back on getting the Maximum Spider-Man, because I'm like, no, you're going to do one in brighter colors that I'll actually want. In the meantime, though, if you have to have a Spider-Man for your Capcom display, which you really do, then Maximum Spider-Man is the closest representation I think you can get. Then Iceman, going to be a little bit trickier. It's been a while since we had a classic comic book Iceman. And actually, I think the one that would mirror the Capcom style the closest would actually be the one that came in the Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack, because he has a bit of an animated, cel-shaded kind of look to him. So that really fits the Capcom aesthetic. Or, of course, if you can't get hold of that or you don't want to buy a whole 3-pack just for him, there is the Retro Iceman as well, and he would do pretty well in that sort of style too. Then, sticking with our X characters, it is Colossus, yes? And Colossus came with the Juggernaut 2-pack, but now that Juggernaut is going to be kind of surplus to requirements. I think we might see a lot of those popping up on eBay pretty soon. But the Colossus from that set is still just gorgeous. I wish that Marvel Legends could have done more of the exaggerated Capcom styles with their new figures, but it seems they wanted to keep the basic Marvel Legends aesthetic and, you know, not do new sculpts. So therefore, the older Colossus actually fits with the rest of the aesthetics of their current and brand new Capcom-style characters. Filling out our X-Men, it's Cyclops. And for Cyclops, again, we don't have a specific Capcom-inspired Psych, but if you want Scott Summers in that classic 90s look, you only have to go so far as to pick up the X-Men 97 version. Of course, there's different versions of Slim out there, but I think this is the best version of him in his great-looking Jim Lee 90s costume. Not going to belabor the point on that one, I'll just say, Optic Blast! Hey guys, so this is obviously an extra thing that I filmed separately because I forgot to do the Sentinel. I didn't forget as much as I didn't think about him because we don't have any kind of Marvel Legends representation for this particular dude. Of course, there's the HasLab Sentinel, which is amazing, but that's definitely not the kind of aesthetic look of the Capcom Sentinel. So that's one of my biggest wants for Hasbro at some point, to give us an amazing version of this Capcom Sentinel. That would be incredible. They'd sell a boatload because people would army build them. And yeah, we would just be living in a better world because of it. Also, because I always forget this, since you're watching,
let's go, bub.
A thumbs up would be awesome. Or even if you wanted to get a channel membership, that would be even better. But okay, that's enough of that. Back to the video. Then we got Psylocke, the brand spanking new Psylocke on the super articulated body, as well it should be. I won't give too much praise for that because I'm like, yeah, she darn well should be on the new body. But it's great to see because honestly, I've got the Mafex version, which I don't like as much. I think visually, aesthetically, this is going to be the best Psylocke to go for. And similarly as well, we got the old knucklehead Wolverine. And there's no question, of course, it is the Capcom Wolverine. My current go-to Wolverine is the Mezco. Love him to death, but that ain't Capcom. This is Capcom. They actually did make him broader and stockier with the huge big fins on his mask and the boots. Once again, just the perfect Capcom Wolverine. And what might be a good base body for a feral Wolverine. That's another video for another day.
Capcom presents.
Then we're going over to Cable. His name's Cable. He's from the future. And I skipped on this when it originally came out. This beautiful Capcom-style Cable. Because I got the Revoltech, which I still think is the superior Cable. But if you're doing a Marvel vs. Capcom display, then this is it. This is that Cable. So, yeah. I think I'm going to have to go back and pick him up now because I really want to build this. And then we got ourselves the old Cajun Gambit. And Gambit, they've made this figure 3 different times, and it wouldn't surprise me if they make him a 4th in a Capcom style. So you could either get the original, you could get the retro, or you could get the X-Men 97 version, which I think is actually the weakest one out of all of them. My favorite is the retro. Nice, bright colors, so he is just like the Capcom style, but then he's got a really decent head sculpt to go with him. He's going to look great, and of course, if you got the Cajun, you gotta have Rogue. And Rogue, I'm trying to rack my brains to think what color her bomber jacket is. I know it probably changes, and of course, palette swaps abundance in Capcom. But I think that the retro Rogue might be your best bet for the classic color scheme to go for Capcom. So yeah, but of course you got the Juggernaut Wave Rogue, you got the X-Men 97 one as well with the curiously green jacket. That does make sense for the cartoon. Regardless, though, I think the retro one, that's classic Rogue for me. Then, sticking with the X-Men, we got Storm. And Storm, just like Rogue, you had the X-Men 97 one, you also had the older one as well. I feel I wouldn't mind a completely brand new update of the Weather Goddess. In the meantime, though, you got a couple of different options there. Then, an almost brand spanking new character, I'm still waiting for her, it's Marrow, and that was like the second sign that we were getting closer to the Capcom wave. We had the Iron Man with the proton cannon a while ago, but then when they dropped Cable and Marrow, it was like, oh, they got something cooking. And this Marrow looks gorgeous. So she's going to be another must-have for you. And then we're getting on to some of the big bads. But before we do, it's Blue Venom, or Blenheim, as he's already becoming known in the community. And this is one that I kind of love and hate. I love it because it's Blue Venom. But also, I'm kind of disappointed that it's literally just a repaint of the 85th anniversary Venom. Really, in the game, he should have been so much bigger, and you know, there are so many cool symbiote effects he has. The symbiote coming out, chomping down, all sorts of stuff. But they went, no, I don't think I'll do that. I'll just repaint him again. At least they threw in another head, which, just like other characters, is a perfect recreation of the concept promotional style artwork. So that's a nice thing. But man, he could have been so much more. Then we got ourselves Blackheart, and that was another little sign that we were getting closer to Marvel vs. Capcom, and also a sign that Dave shouldn't have slept on the Strange Tales wave. Hopefully you can probably pick up the whole wave for not too much money, I would have thought, because those Blackhearts, they're going to be going up in price and up in demand now. People are going to want to get the Son of Satan, and the Build-A-Figure does look wicked. And I think a lot of people, to use the phrase again, did kind of sleep on it, because they were like, Blackheart, that ain't no biggie. Well, he's a big deal now. And speaking of big deals, we got Victor Von Doom. And Dr. Doom, there's still plenty to choose from. If you want the nicest Dr. Doom, then of course for Marvel Legends, it would be the 3-pack that came with Taskmaster and Iron Patriot. But really, I think if you want the most Capcom-y looking Doom, it would probably be the retro Dr. Doom that came out several years ago. And I love him. He's still my favorite Marvel Legends Doom just because of the brighter color scheme. So that's a great one to go for. Then we got the Juggernaut himself. Oh my god! This was the highlight. This was the absolute highlight of the entire Pulse stream from the other day for me. Just incredible looking. Just bravo Marvel Legends. You nailed it. Without this, I would have thought, the Build-A-Figure or the 2-pack Juggernaut, he's fine, he'll do the trick. Nah, this is the only Juggernaut in town now. Although if you really want to be pedantic, which I do love to do, the Mondo Juggernaut actually has more of the ridiculous aesthetic that he had in the game. But you know what? We want to keep it all Marvel Legends style. So this brand new Juggernaut can't be beat. Then Magneto. And for Magneto, Marvel Legends, they could do a new one, certainly. Because we've got the classic looking Magneto from the Family Matters 3-pack. That's okay, but he really shows his age. Then we've got the X-Men 97 one, who is an improvement, but he's got the red gloves. He's not quite that right sort of style. So honestly, I think Marvel Legends might be listening and going, what's that, Dave? You want us to just swap the gloves over and sell them again? I'm like, well, no, but also kind of yes. So yeah, there are a couple of Magnetos you can get, but I'm still waiting for the perfect one.
Let's go, bub.
Round 1, fight!
Then we got Sabretooth. And for Victor Creed, well, they just did the brand new box set. So there you go. That's an easy one. Is he as monstrous as his in-game sprite? Not so much, but he does look a lot like the promo artwork. So that's great in that regard. Then we got the brand new Silver Samurai. The original one was terrific. This new one uses a lot of the old material, which, you know, the Legends team were only too happy to do. But with the extra accessories, the bigger armor pieces, and the great animated face, he does look the business. Then we can go back a little bit further with Spiral from the Mojoverse. This was Marvel Legends at their best. going above and beyond to do a specific character. It's not like they have a huge use for a 6-arm female mold, but they did it! And they could still use it again if they wanted to do itsy bitsy. But this Spiral, absolutely phenomenal. Really, really love her. Go check her out. Go pick her up if you haven't done already. Omega Red is next. And this one is finally, I feel, the best Omega Red. Because the first one was great, and then they did the one in the box set, which was an improvement in some regards. But also he was missing some details that I just felt, it's like you're better than the old one in this way, but you fall down in the other. Can't we just have a figure that has everything? And then finally we got it. You gotta buy a 2-pack to get him, but I don't mind, because he finally gets all the different pieces and elements that I want for my quintessential Omega Red. Then, the penultimate figure is gotta be Shuma Gorath. Or Gargantos, to your friends. This is just something I never thought we'd see from Marvel Legends, so God bless you guys for going completely crazy with this. Unsurprisingly, no other substitutes. There's no other random Shuma Gorath figures out there, I don't think. So Marvel Legends is your only game in town, but honestly, why would you even shop around? I'd be hard-pressed to find something that looks better than this. And then finally, for the basic kind of roster of characters, you got Thanos. And once again, brand spanking new. The deluxe Thanos would have been perfectly good, but what the heck? We've got the one in the Psylocke 2-pack now, which is just ultimate. Ultimate version of the Mad Titan right there. It's the head sculpt in particular, with the deep sunken black eyes and the big shoulder pads. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. But we're not done yet, because we still got the big bad bosses to go.
I am the apocalypse.
So first of all, it is the Apocalypse. And really for Apocalypse, I mean, if you wanted to be accurate to the game, where he grows to gigantic proportions, you'd have to go way back to the old Toy Biz Build-A-Figure. I mean, that would really work for the aesthetics of the game, so that would be great. Or if you don't want to go so far back, like get a 20-year-old Build-A-Figure, you can always get the more modern Build-A-Figure, just to have him included there as well. And then for, I think it was the second Marvel vs. Capcom game, it's Onslaught and my kingdom for a bigger, better, badder Onslaught. If they did that as a HasLab or a direct-to-market, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. In the meantime, though, we do have two different versions of both forms of Onslaught. So first of all, we got the more modern Build-A-Figure of him in his more Magneto-looking armor, and then you go way back and you can get the more Beetle-looking Onslaught. So those two, you can source them out on the second-hand markets. Hopefully you can find them, and that will round out the Marvel side of your Marvel vs. Capcom display. Of course, there are some palette swaps and different things you can go for as well, but I wanted to keep this a bit more basic. As for the Capcom characters, well, that's a different list altogether. And folks, that does it for the rundown of the essential Marvel characters you need for the Marvel side of your Marvel vs. Capcom display. If you want to know who you need for the Capcom one, I'll make a separate video, absolutely, but oh boy, when it comes to action figures, it is slim pickings out there. Besides Street Fighter, God bless you, Jada Toys. So gang, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Oh no! Our house is on fire! Quick, we have to get out! Wait a minute! The door is locked! We're trapped!
That's right, I trapped you, because you haven't joined up to become Model Behavior channel members.
We're sorry, Barbecue. If you help us escape, we promise to join the channel members section.
All right, come on, you little rascals, get out here.
Wow, Barbecue, thanks for rescuing us.
That's all right. And now you're YouTube channel members, so I'm not gonna have to burn your freaking house down.
Yay!
All right, I gotta go. There's a lot of people who aren't channel members. I'm gonna burn their houses down.
Thanks, Barbecue. Now we know to be channel members.
And knowing is half the battle.